Are you paying attention, everybody? This podcast was created to proliferate common sense takes regarding politics, religion, healthcare, current events, conspiracies, and whatever other topics you've been told to never mention at the dinner table. The purpose? To enlighten our fellow citizens of the propaganda being pushed in this polarizing time period in the never ending battle for your soul. This podcast is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organizations, or institution. We do wish to engage in every controversy under the sun without endorsements or oppositions to any causes. We are the four discoursemen: TJ, Greg Hugh, Pastor Benny, and me. Artie, the one man party. Thanks for your time, energy, and of course, attention. Well, happy Halloween, everybody. October 31st, 2025. Here, back in the saddle again after a little hiatus. Pastor Benny had to go to India for some missionary work. I went on a little cruise, and my other discoursmen have had other engagements going on. So I'm glad we're back in the saddle again. So let's jump right into the arena. And I wanted to add some color, some of the things I've started scratching the surface on. As the great Chael Sonnen has said, every man, every person needs to have a code. One of my core beliefs, or truths per se, is fundamentally we all wake up, or I wake up, with two choices. Do I want to be happy today, or do I want to be right? And you almost never can have both. Understanding this has changed my life for the better immeasurably. When I realized that many people out there, no matter what you do, you can never make happy. That's impossible. Lately, I've been even thinking that some people who I'm sure if they even got to heaven would probably hate it. Why are all the trees green, they would say? Why can't it be autumn all the time? Now, the most important rant that illustrates this to me is the one by the late, great Teddy Roosevelt. It's called The Man in the Arena. And since it's Halloween, I wanted to bring back his ghost. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who, at the best, knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. A moment of silence for the great Teddy Roosevelt. I mean, that's one of the most important things ever said to me. Means a lot, that rant. Basically, I take it as Roosevelt's ranting about critics and how they basically, in the big picture, are mostly NPCs. That's the new age term for non-playing characters, I believe. And in my terms, the only critic that counts, critical thinking. But that's why I'm grateful for this arena. As an outlet, it helps me discuss such hot button topics going on in the world. I find this arena therapeutic, as in it helps me live life on life's terms. Now, what does that actually mean? So basically it starts with, I try to keep things in the eye. Huge. It means basically keeping the focus inward. Instead of focusing on others being wrong, fuck them. Keep it on me. Knowing calming thinking people will identify. If it doesn't apply, I'll let it fly. Again, it's progress, not perfection. Another big thing, acceptance. Huge. Helps me focus on things I can control, which on a macro sense, unless you're Trump, is very little. But acceptance to me is knowing things that are out of my control. I look inward, not outward. And I understand my character defects, even when my self righteous anger, which is a big character defect of mine, takes me on a trip. So outside the arena, that's how I deal with shit. Now, piggybacking on my last monologue, simplify, basically streamlining stuff. Fundamentally, like I said, almost everything I do, two choices, happy or right. So, although some of my people might be here to debate, it doesn't make sense to me or it doesn't have a foundation in language. Word meanings to me are also huge. It definitely shows a much higher understanding that will eventually blow your mind. If you really want to deconstruct from this matrix we live in, understanding the meaning and etymology of words is a must. And if you're still paying attention, my fellow intentionites, actually will make sense. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. So work it. You're worth it. Now, common sense. That's another thing that's huge today. It's not so common anymore. So if it's not on my intuition radar, it's like the golden dome. It never lands. Doesn't infiltrate it, it's superfluous. Zero credibility. I literally don't give a fuck about being right anymore. Just happy, and that's the discipline. Fundamentals. I add to the code. Toolbox and a foundation I build off of. No reason to bitch, moan, oh, he's wrong, he's a racist, he's a misogynist, oh no, he's an anti Semite, he's weaponizing hunger, he's a fascist. Climate change, oh no, we're gonna be dead. It's gonna end us all. Fuck him. Worrying is just praying to the devil, bending the knees to the handlers. Happy, that's my focus. I focus on positive stuff, the light, and having faith. Ultimately, confidence in one's fruit, your legacy, the evolution of my growth mindset. Bottom line, results. And if it doesn't stand the test of time, like Teddy Roosevelt's rant and his speak softly and carrying a big stick, foreign policy, which the current president, in my opinion, the greatest this country has ever seen by a country mile, might have got only half right. Maybe he should say less, but boy, when he talks, does it make me happy. John, do you hear me cutting out?
Some static stuff. Is TJ in the house?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
TJ's in
Okay,
the
great.
house.
So what I wanted, good to see you, TJ. We don't have a lot of time, so I just wanted to say that I'm happy everyone's here. And let me see. I mentioned earlier in one of our chats that motives are like ropes and or even anchors. And sometimes these ropes can become like a noose. So in that vein, that being said, I like to focus on happiness. So TJ, I want to know, are you happy that Trump gave Millie 20 billion?
Trump what? 20 billion?
20 billion? Yeah. We happy about that? Just want to make sure you're happy.
Trump what? 20 billion?
Yeah, you don't know that he gave Millie $20 billion?
Oh, Malay.
Venezuela.
No, Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I mean, I guess it's good for Argentina.
That's it?
Yeah, I don't really understand why that needed to be done.
Well, because you're a big Millie guy, and we just gave him 20 billion to bail his country out.
Oh, I didn't want to give him any money for that.
Okay, so then just answer the question. You're not happy about it.
No, it's inconsistent.
All right, good.
Maybe if you gave 20 billion to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would be happy about that. We could use it on our defense, apparently.
So you don't find it kind of. What about you, Greg? Here, you think that was a good thing to do, Trump?
Not a fan. Not America first.
I hear you. All right, good. Because, like I said, when TJ started mentioning about libertarianism and stuff, I was like, look, sounds cool and all, but give me a working model. Show me where it works. And Argentina was like one of the first real working models, and it looks like it took some damage. So that's why you get on these little crusades and stuff with these other unproven policies or whatever you want to call libertarianism. It's not always the grass isn't always greener on the other side, is what I'll say. So I'm happy you two guys agree that, yeah, given 20 billion, because you've also said Israel, we shouldn't be giving them money and this and that. So even when it's something closer to home, and it basically, I liked it. I mean, look, I have nothing against it. But then again, I've been more consistent with, all right, other countries and stuff, giving them money and stuff. I'm not against it.
Wait, but you're trying to blame libertarianism for this?
How can it not be?
Yeah. Luckily,
You're
I've
missing
been
the point.
following Milei's career in Argentina since he went into office. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. So then when you ask why am I asking you about it, kind of took me by surprise.
So when he first got into office, I think they were at something around 200% inflation percentage. That continued for the first few months of his term while he was settling in, and it went up to, I think, like 350%. And then after that point, it declined to a point where they're way better off now than when he first went in. In fact, they just had a first midterm where they elected a lot of libertarians in to their office.
Well, I actually was reading it was the opposite. A lot of his people didn't get elected.
No, well,
Yeah.
that's what I guess that's what they want to tell you, and then they show you like the protesters and all that stuff. But if you look at the stats, the people are way better off. They're digging themselves out of poverty, just like he said he would.
So you would
And
rather Argentina
people are
just
getting elected.
completely fold, right? Because they bailed them out. The country was going to go basically belly up. It looked like that their whole currency was going to get destroyed.
No, it's trending up, and that's probably why he was able to do that. He wouldn't just throw money into a dumpster fire.
Which you wouldn't agree though that we shouldn't have given them 20 billion though, right?
No, and it kind of muddies the water with the whole libertarian project too.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It kind of muddies the water with the whole libertarian project too, because now people can be like, "Well, you received 20 billion from the U.S., so not really libertarianism." So,
Right.
I'm
Okay.
upset about that.
So my whole thing about you say it's not a knock on libertarianism then. That the fact that this country was basically going to go belly up.
Yeah, like I'm saying, let me check what the inflation rate is now.
Well, that's not. I mean, inflation rate.
That was one of the biggest problems.
His currency was getting destroyed. Is what I understood it as. We don't just throw around $20 billion. So
Yeah, so like right now they're at 33% inflation, which is huge if it was America. But when he was in office, it was over 200%.
okay.
So he was able to turn that.
I don't know all that stuff. I'm just saying we gave him 20 billion. That's what I wanted to get. You got to remember, like if you have $1 and it goes to $2, right? That's 100% return. So it went up $1, but then if it goes from 2 to 3, that's only 50%. So 33%, although it might not have been 200%, as these numbers get bigger and bigger, it doesn't seem as much, but it's still huge, right? 33% of a higher number could be 200% of a lower number. But I don't want to go into all the math and stuff and whatever. But okay, great. So what I also wanted to say, because Greg, he would mention something about America first, right? And we got into it a little bit. So there's foreign policy and then there's domestic policy, right? Do you understand the difference?
Yes, Artie, I understand the difference.
All right, TJU.
Yes. Thank you for
Okay, so
asking.
like you say, when we're talking
Thank you.
about
Thank you. Thank you for
Argentina,
not assuming that. Thank you for not
okay,
making that
great.
assumption.
Good. When we talk about like Venezuela or Argentina or Israel or Qatar or Qatar, that's foreign policy. So America first doesn't apply, right?
No,
America first
that's
is a
wrong. That's
domestic
absolutely
policy.
wrong. No, it's
How,
not.
okay, how can it
No, it's
not
not.
be? Okay, explain
Because
that to
it should govern everything we do, domestic and foreign. When we make treaties with other countries, when we make trade deals with other countries, when we decide to go to war or not go to war with other countries, all of that should be based on the fundamental idea of it benefiting America. That is the idea of America first.
me. No, but that's a domestic policy. I agree.
But
I believe
that's not a
not a
domestic
foreign.
policy. That's not a
Yeah.
domestic policy. It's the underlying philosophy that governs everything that you do.
That I disagree. What about you? Because here's the thing, in life, right? You have to make sacrifices. That's the one of the main points in life in general. You have for your kids, you sacrifice. For other people, you sacrifice. But there's different components. You have a foreign policy. We have differently than a domestic policy. So what happens in my family is different than what happens outside the home. Okay, so if I attribute America first to being domestic policy. Now, I know what our foreign policy is. Do you know what our foreign policy is called? What's the theme?
America
I
last.
know. America last.
Yeah. I mean, yes or no. If you don't know, that's fine. I'll tell you. I'm not trying to be. I just want to move it along because we have an actual foreign policy. It's quite ubiquitous. If you know, do you know what it
No,
is?
no. Tell us. Tell us what it
Peace,
is.
peace through strength. Okay, peace through strength. So when we help out these other countries, we're giving them strength. So there's peace, like with the Cater thing, whatever. With that, with the reason we want to bail out Argentina is because it could cause disruption in that area. China could get in its hands in it. So you need strong allies. Peace through strength, which ultimately helps America. Would you agree?
Hold on. Do we have Lindsey Graham on the line here? Lindsey, is this you? Did you fucking take over already? Hold on. We
No, that.
can't we
So
can't
wait.
have our. Oh man.
So wait. Let me get this straight. Are you saying our foreign policy is not peace through strength? Or are you trying
I'm
to,
saying that I think
freestyle,
I
as
think
I
that
say,
means
go off the
I
rails and just make it convolute the point?
well, I think peace through strength can mean different things to different people.
Oh,
If you want
yeah,
to, I
make it
don't
make
think
it
that's.
muddy the waters. Okay. Well, I look at it as very
It
simple:
might.
peace through strength,
Yeah,
and
but would
that
you
What does
define
that mean?
strength?
Arming other. What does that mean? Regime change?
I didn't say that. It's exactly what it says: peace with strength.
How does
Pastor
regime
Green,
change in South America help peace or strength?
I don't know what you're talking about regime change. I'm talking about peace through strength. Regime change is what we're trying to avoid by helping Millie.
I'm talking about Maduro.
Well, again, we're going all over the place. I just wanted to understand when you say America first, I'm talking my opinion, so we get on the same page, is that it's domestic. Now, when we deal with
Well,
other
I don't.
countries,
I don't even think most MAGA people would agree with that.
I don't care about what MAGA. I'm just telling you what the policies are, and that's what I see. So we get some fundament foundation.
So you acknowledge that our foreign policy isn't America first.
I mean, again, I just said it very clearly. Domestic policy is America first. Nothing to do with foreign policy. Zero. I don't even know why we even talk. That's my point. Can you grasp that?
No, I'm having trouble
All
understanding
right, exactly.
why.
That's my point. These are
Why?
basic little things that I can't see how anyone couldn't grasp it.
Now, I think one more thing is that for a country like Argentina, if if America doesn't jumps into the opportunity to be the first to help them, we lose track. There are other people like China is waiting for an opportunity like that to invest in Argentina. Um, Other countries like Russia is probably also interested in. So if we miss that chance, somebody else will jump in, and that now we have two other people in the two more countries in the South American continent, we have to deal with it.
My
Venezuela is.
my friend, this is what
Uh,
they said about Vietnam. I mean, this is
Yeah.
the same argument, right? This is the same argument that has driven US foreign policy for the last 60 years. We
Mhm.
just attach it to different issues. First, it was stopping the spread of communism. Then it was stopping something else. Now it's narco trafficking. But at the end of the day, it's the John McCain, Lindsey Graham uh, foreign policy solution, which is, when all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail.
John, what Lindsey Graham wasn't around Vietnam. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So I don't see the point. But my point is here is we have a domestic policy and we have a foreign policy, and they're different. Ultimately,
So
it should help America, of course. But how can you say America first when you're dealing in foreign policy? That's the job of the president as well. So, with that being my understanding, there's a lot of things out there that now each Israel, Venezuela, is all unique things. It's like it's a different child or a cousin of the family. Then you deal with them differently. That's how I look at it. I think that's how Trump looks at it. And I think that's the right way. Now, you always want to go back to like, oh, Vietnam or back in the past. We have Michael Jordan, as I've said many times, in the White House right now. To talk about Vietnam and all that stuff, that to me is just muddying the waters. It's 2025. You said you were against the 20 billion. I respect that. So you're consistent there. Okay. So nothing to do. But if the only reason you against is because you think everything's America first, that to me is just selfish. Okay. You have to have sacrifice in your life. Without sacrifice, then ultimately you're not being. Your fruit is spoiled.
so what happened
So I love that
immediately
we gave Milton 20
after $20
billion.
billion
More
was sent
think
to
about it.
Argentina? Malay made a deal with China to send soybeans there untaxed.
Correct. Correct.
You know who was the leading importer of soybeans to China before that?
Well,
The U.S.
again, yeah, let's talk about the big picture. He just made a deal now with China to get the soybeans. So now you couple that. Now, again, if you would have harshly reacted and crying about that, yeah, I get it. So now we made a deal with China for the soybeans. So problem averted. But you have to look at it from the holistic approach, from the big picture. Correct. Initially, yeah, it was bullshit that they were selling soybeans and stuff million M. But again, we gave them the $20 billion bailout. Maybe part of that reasoning was because of that stress. They needed the money. Again, like I said, these are bigger problems, and I can totally grasp. But ultimately, when you have faith in this guy, Michael Jordan, in the White House, it usually ends up good. Game-winning shot.
We lost someone. Was it? I don't know.
We're all here.
Oh, okay. I heard a beep.
I,
So I don't
I
maybe,
heard someone drop off.
no.
I thought someone dropped out too.
Yeah. Anyways, so what do you
Yeah.
Artie? What do you think about these the SNAP benefits being taken away tomorrow
Yeah.
potentially?
I mean, weaponizing, right? Hunger, they call it. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, I don't want to take away the SNAP benefits, but again, it's like I said, these are things bigger than I can control. I mean, the first preface would be like, what do you think of the government shutdown? Again, we haven't really talked about it in a month. I would rather start there. I mean, are you pro the government shutdown or not? If you're pro the government
No.
shutdown, then you have to understand there's going to be fallout. But this cherry pick one little thing, I mean, you have to look at the main vein first, right? Are you for the shutdown or not? And then
Yeah.
you have to
Only.
deal with the consequences, right? So, are you for the shutdown or not? I'd
Yeah.
ask you that. So, if you're for the
Put it down.
shutdown, then you have to again, I'm not happy about the SNAP benefits, but that's what happens.
Yeah, fundamentally, obviously, most of the government programs should be shut down forever.
Okay.
I do believe, though, when you're dealing with um, the the poorer, or yeah, the poorer, like poverty level class, you you almost promise them that you're going to take care of them for a while. So we should at least wean them off instead of giving them a two week notice, which pretty much what it was, saying like you're in 2 weeks this is going to be cut off. And if you're in a position where you're relying on that, it's obviously hard enough where you can't find the work to make up for it. And then you have to try in 2 weeks to get yourself in a situation where you're paying for your own food.
But
Okay.
I'm sensing that yeah, government shut down. Some Democrats are responsible for it. They have to take responsibility for that. And but on the other hand, I think uh, he's Trump's party sensing some kind of abuse in that system. A lot of people are taking abuse of that, and the new mayor for New York City is promoting for his people those kind of freebies, so they more abuse can happen. So that's what he's trying to aim to, just like the way he dealt with tariffs. He'll build it up, boom, and now we can negotiate. Now we can bring it down. We can weed out all the problem areas. So whatever the abuse is, he can catch it. So they can sense it. So that's I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to see where the abuse is, where is the most of the money going, who is using this. So most of the things nobody has
People are
checked it
abusing
before.
it aren't going to suffer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's
Um,
about, they say there's like 30% of it's abuse. I
that's
was
a
looking.
that's a hefty amount. I didn't think it was that high, honestly.
Yeah, it's like 30%. A lot of times, you even say they use those benefits to buy like cosmetics and literally they have Grubhub. They've been using Grubhub for that stuff.
That's
You
insane.
you
I
didn't
didn't know
know?
they could do
You
that.
literally can use Grubhub. They get it delivered, the food. They could buy restaurant food with that stuff.
Well, certainly there's abuse. I mean, but also it's gone way up since what 2020 when illegal aliens started flooding into the country. So that's another thing that is
Yes.
connected to illegal immigration is that the SNAP benefits have gone through the roof since immigrants have come in, and a
Yes.
lot of a lot of that's not to say that immigrants don't deserve if they come in the legal way, but we can't have a bunch of
Yes.
illegal people coming in and taking and I think that's a fair point. That even though, like, I totally disagree with the whole benefit program of SNAP, the fact that we've had generations of families on these things, we should be a little bit more careful about how we wean them off or take it away. Like a lot of things Trump does, he's a fucking bull in a china shop, unfortunately.
This isn't Trump though doing this. I mean, what are you talking about? Why are you throwing Trump's name in it? This is. I mean, let's look at it realistically. If you're going to break something down, right? This is because of the of subsidies, right? Of the Affordable Care Act. The Democrats have basically done shut the government down. That's ultimately what it is. It's Congress. Nothing to do with Trump.
Well, yes, yes. But
I mean,
they're trying, I mean, they took a lot of people off of these programs, a lot of immigrants off of these programs, and they got a lot of pushback for that. So,
yeah. So this is about ultimately the SNAP benefits is being leveraged versus the Affordable Care Act disaster, is what I understood it as. Yes or no?
I mean, it's related to the government shutdown, but they could very easily vote to pay out the SNAP benefits, and didn't they vote against that? I mean,
Well,
Congress can vote for
they're not
parts
going to
of
piece
it.
everything together. Now, that's a great point, right? In Congress, you could do one bill at a time, but they like to do these big things. So what would happen is if they did that, and you've been Greg Hugh, if I remember, you said stuff about like if with tariffs or something, like if you do it now, later on, it could change. Now, this would create the precedent where you just shut the government down and then you get your one little thing across, right? If you
I
have
mean,
one thing like you shut the government down and then you just say, "Oh, let's pass this one thing," and then back to usual. So you can't just do that because of what the precedent would create. You understand that logic?
but that's no one's using that logic here, right? We all know
That's
why the
what,
government is shut
that's why
down.
they
It'll
won't do
be
it.
the
That's the
government
exact
will come
logic.
right. The government will come right back up after the election. Mark my word.
Exactly. 100%. This is all political.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. So TJ trying to set me up with about the snap stuff. I don't know if it's because he wants to take a shot at Trump or not, which has nothing to do with Trump.
Oh no, I'm just saying it's happening tomorrow, so that's very relevant. It was just a good point. Something to talk about. Maybe we're all on the same page.
All right, so we haven't spoken 30 days, right? And you want to talk about possibilities. What about the last 30 days, right?
Correct.
What about Bill Gates turning on climate change? Because in the end, Trump will hit a 3-pointer again, and it won't be as bad as it is. Like that's the whole thing, right? Everybody likes to worry about stuff without even happening, and it's not even his control, or out of our control. But what did you think about Bill Gates with climate change?
Oh, was his stance now?
Yeah, he's done. He said it was a joke. He was wrong. I mean, Greg Huey, you hear about that?
I mean,
I
yeah, I
want
mean,
to.
I read the headlines. I didn't hear what he said, but basically he's backtracking on
Yeah, it was a big mistake.
he's saying it's not catastrophic. Not that
Yeah,
it's
it's a
not
big.
happening, but maybe we were
Right.
overblowing it a little bit.
Yeah, it was a big mistake. He's taking all his money and resources out of there. Going to focus it more on other stuff. So
Yep.
Trump
He thinks like
basically broke Gates, broke Elon Musk. He broke basically everything. So it's a scam. It's basically Trump put a tweet out saying it was. I proved it was a scam. See you later. I'm glad Bill Gates finally understands that. So you also hear about Tulsi. She's now going to investigate Fauci.
Yeah, how many times this Bill Gates has to backtrack? He's now backing track from uh, this climate change, and he's going to go for vaccines. He's like, yeah, everything I said for the past was crazy.
he's just trying to make money.
Yeah,
Gain power.
that's it.
Yeah,
Or
and it's been cut off with all that those scams.
Or do you
Well,
think
you
he
know what though?
legitimately trying to be philanthropic and he was scammed? What do you think?
What was the question, boss?
I said, or do you
Well,
think he's legitimately trying to be philanthropic and then he was scammed?
Yeah, probably.
You-
Like I've said, I think most of these
no,
people.
Fauci's been dirty for decades. I mean, there's
Fauci
whole
was
books.
another story.
Yeah, there's whole books written about him.
I'm
Oh
saying
yeah,
Bill
Yeah.
Gates. Do you think Bill Gates was one of the victims, or was he one of the perpetrators of the lie?
I think I think you start as one and you graduate to the other.
absolutely. He's part of the scam. Anyone who's that powerful and stuff, come on. He knows what's going on. It was easy money. And
Look,
when
how
it's
about here's an issue related to Tulsi and the biggest disappointment in history, Cash Patel. Tulsi's people wanted to investigate foreign connections to the Charlie Kirk murder, and Cash stopped them and shut it down. Have you heard about that?
I had
No,
not.
why would he
I
do that?
into all the Charlie Kirk stuff. We don't have a lot of time. But yeah, that's I don't know that, but yeah, Charlie Kirk things, a lot of stuff going on there. There's a lot of smoke there.
It's crazy.
So I also wanted to mention, because of the 20 billion that we gave Millie, which TJ, you would rather have given it to the SNAP people?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Okay. So then the millions of Argentinians are going to go poor, no problem. But we rather give it to the SNAP people, which I'm fine.
I
But
mean,
see,
at 30% abuse, I see about the same amount in with the package that's going to Argentina.
okay. So anyway, do you know how much money that we've taken in on tariffs this year?
No, what's the stats?
Does Greg Hugh know? Does Pastor Benny? Because I've been, a lot of the stuff you talk about, I've actually done some research so I can kind of, with the Israel stuff and everything. So I just wanted to put this in perspective here. Well, I got you. Do you know how much we've
No,
taken?
I didn't see any deposits into any of my accounts, so I haven't been able to follow it.
I think they're going to give us back $200 or something. I heard.
Oh, no,
That's
$200.
great. Oh
Woo,
yeah.
my family can eat this week, baby. Come on.
Okay, well, again, some people never be happy, but it's like over 250 billion. It's like $250 billion so far since September.
What was it previous? I'm sure you have the increase because we were collecting tariffs before that, right?
No, this is like a $250 billion increase or whatever.
Oh, so that's the increase. That's cool.
I don't know the actual. I'm just saying 250 billion.
But
Yeah,
how do you
last
feel
year,
like that impacts you at all?
last year
How did
said
that impact you, Artie?
Okay, well, I think that's a great question because when you guys sit there and are all up about we're giving Israel.
Just answer. How did it impact you?
I like the question. I'm answering the question. When you guys get all up in arms about we give 20 billion to Millie, what does that affect you?
It's my tax money.
Okay, well, it's $200 billion
That's my
more.
money.
That's less
That's
money
my,
we got to take into taxes if we get from tariffs.
no, no,
We
no,
didn't.
no. That's not how that works, my friend.
You don't
You
know
can't.
that.
You No, I do know that. No,
No, you.
well, okay. I know that's never in the history of how it's worked in the past. How it
Like
works.
Michael
Let me
Jordan.
try. Huh?
Michael Jordan. We have a different guy in charge. You also just said if they gave you $200, you wouldn't care anyway. So what is it?
Oh, already stop.
no, last year and the year before it was 70
Uh,
to 80 million dollars.
what was that?
70 to 80 million dollars last year and the year before. This year is over 190 million dollars. So we
Okay,
brought in
yeah,
a lot of money.
90 million to 200 billion, and you don't even know that we got that.
The year is not over yet.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
I do know. I do know. I can feel it.
We took in tariffs. You didn't know.
Fuck. I don't know. I go to the grocery store. We go to the grocery store. You'll know.
Yeah, you do know.
I can't get out of the grocery store for under a couple $100, and my card ain't even full. It's crazy.
But as TJ said, with his Millie defense, that it was 300% inflation. Now it's only 33%. So since Trump has been back, Michael Jordan, what's the inflation rate now?
Oh, that's a good question. I can look that up real quick.
2%. It was 9% or something the year before.
That's good.
All right. All right. So, I mean, progress, not perfection.
No, I'll
So,
take it.
with the 250 billion that Trump's got in tariffs, are you happy about that, Greg Hugh?
I mean, I'm not really sure. No, I'm not going to be happy about it because you know what? He's just going to send it to Israel. How's that going to help me?
Where's it going?
I'm glad you went there. How much money have we sent Israel since 1950?
What,
Or the
above board or actual money we sent?
Well, either one. I've looked it up. So, inflation based or not, it doesn't matter. Do you know?
No. I mean,
Do
what
you know?
like do you think you can look up all the money we've given Israel?
I'm
Do you think
asking
that's a
you.
number you can get to?
So here's the
No.
thing. I ask a question, right? And then you don't even give an answer. You just start muddying the
No,
waters.
I don't know what number you're looking for. I just know you don't have the right number.
Okay, well, you don't even heard the number yet, so that's real
I,
open-minded.
But I don't need to though, Artie. I mean, I know enough that know how this works that the money we say we give Israel isn't everything we give Israel. Even you should know that. And that's not just Israel. It's probably a lot of different countries. But you
I'm just
can't just
I'm looking at the numbers because you worry about this and that. All right. Do you know the number? Start with
no. What's
something.
the
Let's
number?
debate
No,
it.
I don't know what number you're looking at.
All right. Do you know, TJ?
What's the number now?
I don't, that how much you've given Israel since 1940. You guys were literally complaining on these old podcasts. I listened.
I mean, that's
Oh,
like a random date. Why are you gonna just
we
like?
give Israel so much money. So what's the number? Let's just talk about it. And without saying, oh, it doesn't matter the number.
I could see it being like
What?
a half a trillion or something like that. It's probably something ridiculous.
It's inflation adjusted about 300 billion. The number they say around 175 billion. We just gave Millie 20, and we've given
Artie,
Ukraine.
my point is no one believes these numbers. These aren't real numbers.
Ukraine.
These are what the government
That
is
was enough
telling
for
us
me.
they're giving
Almost a half
Israel.
million, a billion.
What? I'm sorry. What was the point? Hello.
You asking me?
Yeah.
What's the question?
I mean, my point was no one should believe numbers that the government puts out about how they're spending money.
Well, look it up. Where I got the information wasn't from the government. I mean, there's been multiple sources. It wasn't so. Look, if your whole like world is based on like nothing is true and it doesn't, that we have to have some common ground. The number's 300 billion. Until you get a number that you can call verified or whatever you want to do it, fine. But let's just do the math. That's the thing. When we do exercises, we just to find out a common ground. You won't even accept the point. So we got $250 billion in 9 months. Okay, and you want to talk about Vietnam. We got 300 billion in the history of Israel in 85 years. Okay, I don't know what the number is, but these are the numbers that are out there. So let's just talk about it. Ultimately, I want to make a big picture point. Now you want to just say it's not the three. You don't even know the.
So
So
make
like,
your. I don't need to know your numbers to make your point.
that's my
Make your
point.
big
Let me
picture
make
point.
my point before you start already like backpedaling and going, "Oh, this is not true." And what do you mean? Let's look at the numbers. Whether that's true or not, then you can come back with afterwards, right? So it's $300 billion in the history of Israel. We're getting 250 billion in tariffs. Do you know what our GDP is per year?
I don't see how these are related.
Well, listen, and then you'll. Okay, what do you mean? What it's not related? Do you know anything about finance, revenue, things like that? How much money's out there? Or you're just going to
because
be?
you have
Oh, well,
money doesn't mean you should just start giving people money.
I'm sorry.
Artie,
Just because
just
you
so you
have money
know that
doesn't mean yeah.
Well, then
these
I'll
Like,
numbers,
bitch
oh,
out the
it's
money.
okay. I have
Artie,
fucking all the
these
money.
numbers you're pulling, the 174 billion number was provided by the Congressional Research Service,
Whatever.
and the 300 billion. I'm looking at the source. The 300 billion was by the Council on Foreign Relations. I
It
mean,
wasn't pulled out my ass. So
no,
when you
you're
come,
right. You're right. You were fed it by people who want to
okay,
feed you,
all
and
right,
you just
fine.
regurgitated it. I mean,
So
but
what's your
either way,
number?
it doesn't matter though. It does. This is why I don't want to argue over the number because we should agree that the numbers are wrong.
Throwing numbers out there to explain, to show you the whole big picture here.
But tell me
You
the big picture. Why should any of my tax money go to Israel?
you're the one upset we give money to Israel. You're the one upset about all this thing America for. Well, at least I'm trying to show you the numbers. And then we can actually have an educated talk instead of just complaining about stuff that we don't
But
really have the whole.
you're just gonna try to show me it's not that big of a deal
If
in
it
the
was a
whole
big
scheme of
deal to you,
things.
you would know the numbers. That's all I'm saying. It's not a big deal to me. I'm looking into it now because you guys continually go on about it. So let me look at the numbers. Let's see the picture. I'm trying to critically think and look into it. These are the numbers I'm finding. If it's not correct, fine, correct me. I'm not saying that this is Moses coming down, and saying this is it. I'm looking at the numbers. That's all. So
But
it's
I'm telling you, I don't care. It doesn't even matter what the numbers are. I agree with your number. If it'll just make it easier, I agree with your numbers. Now make your point.
So we've got $300 billion we've given Israel in 80 years or something.
Who's
Okay,
number two on the list?
I don't care. We're talking about Israel. Like, you guys want to just continually like deflect stuff. I just want to make a point.
I'm trying to
And
make
then,
a point. Like, it doesn't care about GDP. It doesn't make any difference. I'm saying
okay,
who top funded was Israel at 300 billion. If we're taking,
no, what are you
that.
talking about? No, we give a lot more money to other countries than that in the last
No,
85 years. What are you talking about?
no, I'm looking at it right now. 300 billion to Israel. Next one is actually Egypt, which was
Right.
198 billion, and
We
then
just
South
we
Vietnam.
gave
This
Ukraine
was
200
mostly
billion.
probably from
What are you
the
talking about?
Vietnamese war.
We just gave Ukraine $200 billion in the last 2 years.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
using the same stats
What are
as you.
talking about? Okay, well, again,
yeah. I'd like to
So
argue
obviously
against that
there's
as
money
well,
missing.
if we can.
argue what?
I hate that we gave Ukraine that money too. I just wanted to note it's not
Yeah.
anything against Israel.
I'm
So
saying
I
it.
also hate
you're
that we
saying
gave
those
that to you.
numbers. So you're saying those numbers are not the whole picture. Then, if we gave 200 billion to,
Right.
I haven't been able to say that. I'm just breaking down the numbers, and you guys are all like, you're having mental breakdown.
we're just throwing in numbers first of all, and then number
What?
two is we're saying that it doesn't matter compared to the GDP how much money we're giving to anybody. We should
Why?
be giving that money back to our people or not taking it from them in the first place.
Okay,
Like if we have all this money to give to Israel, why aren't we not charging people income taxes, literally taking people's money for working, which is slavery?
okay, well, that's completely, again, you want to go there. Now, I'm saying $250 billion we just got in revenue. Okay, do you know that in the 1900s or whatever, we've never had income tax? We basically had all our money financed through tariffs. So if you were paying attention, you'd see that's maybe where he's trying to go.
Well, it's not working because we just lost $800 billion in imports in the last 9 months, which is 26% decrease.
No, we had a trade deficit, buddy. What are you
No,
talking about? No, it's a trade deficit. We've cut it in half.
we had
You got
imports and then we didn't have them. That's
so you,
called losing imports.
no, imports are not necessarily good for a country. Exports are better for a country than imports. It's called a trade deficit. Like, I wanted to talk about Israel. You want to talk about other stuff because you're losing on that. Fine. You understand what a trade deficit in imports. An import is when you have bring in other goods in your country. You're paying for that typically. Export is when you're selling things to other countries. So if you want to be America first, you want to basically export everything almost. Put this country to work. Have everybody start working here before you start having immigrants come here working here and build a country that literally can support the whole world. See, you don't even listen, like the numbers, the revenues and stuff, the GDP. What I was trying to break down was how much of the world's GDP is American. Do you know that number? And then maybe when you start to learn the numbers, like make things simple instead of getting really complicated about all this other stuff, break it down really simple, it becomes clearer. To me anyway. Instead of
I'm
getting
going to listen to your
it's
GDP and how it relates to
it's drop in the
funding
bucket.
opposing countries.
Drop in the
Go
bucket.
ahead.
It's a drop in the bucket. And you're going to get all worried about these numbers and stuff. That's all I'm saying. Climate change. Another example I like to say. Do you know what
Drop in the
percent?
bucket.
Right. Do you know what percent of carbon dioxide is in our atmosphere?
I don't think any of us are going to be for climate change. Huh? Does anyone
Right.
here
But
want
I'm
to be
just
against it?
numbers. Like when we look at the numbers, that's all I'm trying. I'm trying to make things simple for everybody, especially the listeners. One day, that's it. It's simple. This isn't that complicated. And my monologue would have touched, as the monologue said. That's what I'm basically touching on. Keeping things kind of simple. Let's not overreact to certain things. Take the bait. Don't take the bait. We got $250 billion in tariffs coming, and it's only going to go higher. Is that a good thing?
That's a great thing.
TJ?
No, it's not a good thing in the long term. In the short term, it's going to look great.
Okay, well, that's fine. No, it's consistent to Rand Paul and stuff, the libertarians. So I totally think that you're against it. So you'd rather us pay income taxes over tariffs.
Well, hold on. Are we getting rid of income taxes?
If we can, yes. Would you? That's my point. Would you rather income taxes be the primary method of this country's income? And I'm trying to break the numbers, which TJ don't want to hear about. GDP don't want to hear nothing. His mind can't grasp it. Or tariffs.
Well, I think this is a different conversation if we're going to get rid of income taxes.
Yeah, that's my point. TJ, he lost them.
But hold on, we haven't gotten rid of income taxes. So I don't know why.
But I think
Did you
that Trump is going towards that. That's what he
He's
is
trying to
aiming at.
implement?
Come on, guys. He's not. Well, why do we even think this?
Because he's said it. Have you not paying attention?
No,
Howard
I
Luck.
guess I stopped paying attention when he fucking stopped talking about auditing Fort Knox and shit, and a bunch of other stuff that he said he
Well,
wasn't
I'll
going to
send
do.
you. I'll send you a link. I will send you a link on CNBC. Howard Lucknick talking about how Trump wants to end income taxes for anybody under 200,000 a year. Have you seen that, Pastor Benny?
No, I have not seen that, but I
Yeah,
would love to see that link.
100%. If that was the case, if that's the plan, Greg Hugh, would you be happy you voted for Trump?
I mean, if my selection is Kamala or Trump, I'm still happy I voted for Trump.
So I'm
But
happy.
I can still criticize the things I don't like, right? That's American.
Oh yeah, 100%. The only thing is if you're going to criticize, understand like some of the fundamental principles. That's it. If you're upset just to get upset, like, look, I'm fine with that. But as I pointed out in my monologue, when I referenced Teddy Roosevelt's Man in the Arena speech, there's critics and then there's warriors in the arena. We don't always have to criticize until we understand what the people in the arena are trying to accomplish. So it's not always, like you said, agree 100% wholeheartedly with people. I respect that 100%. You always say about 70% this and that. But certain things, it's a lesser of two evils, a lot of things in this world. I believe that this world is run by not good people and that a lot of things is the lesser of two evils. Tariffs isn't perfect. Income tax isn't perfect. What would you prefer?
I mean, if I had to choose, I would get rid of income tax.
Exactly. So, TJ, now that you're back, do you know that? Have you seen that Trump is trying to say, Lutnick, income tax for under people with 200,000 a year? He's trying to eliminate with tariffs. Have you seen that? Because Greg and John, Pastor Benny had not. Have you seen that?
I heard him say it. Yeah.
Okay. So now, Greg Hugh, while you had to step out for a second, said if it was tariffs versus income tax, he'd prefer tariffs as a source of income primarily. Would
I
you
mean,
agree
if I
to?
have to choose between the two,
Yeah. And he didn't even know about this, that Trump was trying to implement this.
no, I've heard it. I've heard people talk about it. We haven't heard Trump talk about it, and we sure as hell haven't seen him do shit about it.
Well, just
Yeah, I
250
heard him say it.
nations. Yeah, he said it. I mean, it's quite out there. So, Mr. Riley, what would you prefer? Income tax or tariffs?
Tariffs.
Okay, good.
I can
So,
morally justify it as being a protection on the transaction. It was mostly because, like the tariffs were like a protection, so they can afford a navy to protect the imports from actually coming in.
But tariffs are going to be implemented on, it only affect the things that you're buying. For if you're not buying, you're not paying anything towards that. But if the income tax is reduced, everybody benefits, even if you're buying or not buying.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a if I can save on income tax, I would rather save on income taxes. Tariffs can bring more money. Hey, happy for it. The
Yeah, I
only
mean,
impact
automatically taking us out of a wage slave system is uh is definitely a plus.
So you like tariffs then, if it's used correctly, TJ?
I can morally justify it if it's used correctly. Like if they use the funds for gay frog research, then it's not. Okay.
I 1,000,000%. I think we all would agree on that. Okay, so I also wanted to touch on because the Israel thing, right? Because we don't want you guys kind of we argued about the money and that, but ultimately what I wanted to get at, because we don't have a lot of time, was I want to go to Greg Hugh real quick and say he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Now, would you agree that jiu-jitsu is probably the Michael Jordan of martial arts?
I mean, I think it's if you're saying, do I think it's the best martial art? I think so, but
I mean, obviously,
other
mixed martial arts is multiple things, but as far as a base, like
sure.
the one, you got to learn one martial arts. Okay.
Yeah, I think jujitsu is a good one to learn.
All right, and you're a black belt, and you've dedicated your life to it, and you understand all of it. So I'm not saying I'm just using you as an expert witness here.
Sure,
What
sure.
what was the greatest? If you had evidence that mixed martial jiu-jitsu is the number one mixed martial art, what's the greatest evidence in the history in its jiu-jitsu's history? Like, what was like the resurrection moment?
I mean, probably Hoist winning UFC one.
100%. That's what I wanted to hear you say. Now, do you want to go into that a little bit? Why it's so great?
I mean, that just showed everyone. That was the introduction of jujitsu to the world, basically.
Correct. Uh, All right, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, let me just add a little color
Correct.
to that. Basically, Hoist Gracie's a 180-pound guy, 175-pound guy. This was no weight limit. There was huge guys, muscle heads, every type of art, and this guy was half the size of some of these people, and he literally was defeating these people in minutes. Like 1 minute, 2 minutes. He basically a smaller guy, and he's not even like of the Gracies is like I don't know the Roosevelts of. I mean, it's a family name of martial arts. He's not even their best guy. He just was like the small. He was like the guy they wanted to put out there for the most effect. They thought it would be like this little guy coming in there and beating everybody. Correct?
Yeah. They chose him because he looked less assuming than his older brother Hickson, who was super jacked.
Right. And the thing with jiu-jitsu for me, which I've learned a lot about because I'm a big mixed martial arts fan, is it's against everything that you would think about fighting. Like when we grew up, if me and TJ were going to fight, right? You fight on your feet, and then when you hit the guy and he goes to the ground, you let him back up, right? Jiu-jitsu is the actual opposite. You want to go to the ground ultimately because that's where you can finish someone real quick, right? You usually man on man, you don't want to go to the ground. So this is to me was completely amazing to people that to go on the ground, usually you're at a disadvantage. You are completely at like advantage. Like it's like a shark in the water almost, right?
Hmm.
Yes
Sure.
or no? Right? Would you agree that's the big thing? If you don't know anything about jiu-jitsu and stuff, it's basically ground fighting, and it's the ability to again, Greg. I don't want to steal your thunder. You want to go into
No.
it?
I mean, I wouldn't describe Brazilian jiu-jitsu as necessarily traditionally ground fighting. Traditional Gracie jiu-jitsu is self-defense related, so it all starts on your feet. But
Right.
certainly, it has evolved on the sport basis to more of a ground wrestling type of martial art for sure.
I mean, in fighting, right? Because I'm a big UFC fan. A majority of jiu-jitsu practitioners of these world champions and stuff, they actually will sometimes pull guard to get you to the ground. They don't
Sure,
even.
sure.
I don't
Sure,
know.
especially against a good striker, right? You don't want to
Right.
stand in front of a good striker if you're a ground expert, then you can take it to the ground. But that's not what you should learn when you learn jiu-jitsu at first because you don't want to take a fight to the ground in a bar.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, but jiu-jitsu is, as far as my understanding, like when you do tournaments and you practice it, you're not. practicing in a bar, right? You're practicing the techniques. Like when my son started learning, he learned the guard. Like you learn the guard, the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
they learn.
I mean,
They start on the ground.
it's really it's an offshoot of judo, right? When judo does groundwork, it's called nawaza. All jujitsu is the nawaza part of judo. So it's the same martial art. When you start on a jujitsu tournament, you start standing up, and usually you're trying to look for judo grips or something like that to get a throw in or a takedown. So it's just an extension of judo with regards to the sport aspect. But Gracie Jiu Jitsu is unique in that it is a self defense martial art based on standing up. And they have a lot of they focus on standing up self defense before you start doing much ground on the ground.
Okay. But the thing that blew away the world and really made jujitsu on the map was his ability to submit people, right? To finish people on the ground.
Correct.
To stock
Correct.
it. That
Yeah.
was the thing that was blown away. Okay. So here's the pivot, and here's what I wanted to get at. America. I think it's well known that we are the jujitsu of the world. We are the most powerful nation in the world. Would you agree? Our military is second to none.
Yes.
Yes, sounds
Okay.
good.
TJ, would you agree to that?
Correct.
No question. Now, who is America's Hoist Gracie? What is our Hoist Gracie?
George Washington.
No,
That
just
would be
Greg Hugh. You're saying George Washington. Joe, TJ, do you know why America is the number one, or the proof? The fact that all right, we were all mixed martial arts, all these countries. Why is it? And this is doing research on you guys talking about certain things. Why is America the jiu-jitsu of the world? My opinion, but this is basically proven fact, as you'll see. Do you know Greg Hugh? I'll answer that. I mean, I just
Yeah.
want to.
I mean, you'll
why.
are you going to tell me Trump?
No, not a, well. Trump before Trump, it's exactly.
Are you saying like what propelled the U.S. military above all the others?
Yeah, exactly. Now I think TJ's got the answer. What is the answer?
So it was during World War One, I guess. I would
I,
say Franz Ferdinand is the Hoist Gracie of.
no, a Hoist Gracie of the world is something small, something that defeats bigger people, and something that's proven in the battlefield, and that's Israel. Most of our products, most of our defense stuff is tested by them and made better. So the proof, the Golden Dome, a lot of our weapon systems over the years have been proven to work on the battlefield because of Israel, a smaller country defeating all these bigger countries with our technology. So instead of us practicing, again, I'm not saying it, whatever, about the whole thing. So that intel of all of our products working and fine tuning them on the battlefield is our Hoist Gracie. So I agree. Maybe you want to complain about all the money we've given the $200, $300 billion, but we have almost $900 billion a year as our defense system. We supply almost like half the world. Our products are the best because Hoist Gracie went out and like Jiu-Jitsu, our Israel has destroyed all these other countries with our tech. Now, you find fault in that, or where's the disconnect? Am I right or wrong, Greg?
That was weird connection.
I
Exactly.
don't.
Connecting that.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I think I need some
Uh,
more help seeing this.
what's not to understand? Pass the band. You see the correlation?
No, that's quite.
I mean, anybody listening to this will exactly see the point. I'm surprised you, Greg, here don't see it.
Yeah, they have tested all these weapons against so many nations. Now, even now with that,
Yeah.
once the technology is tested, we can sell those weapons to everybody else. Now everybody wants it, and we're the only seller, so that makes a lot of profit for the
I mean,
nation.
I actually could go in because I was doing the research of all these battles Israel has won that proved our technology. And to be, I mean, if you really need more information about it, there's actually battles. Our Golden Dome. There's been other type of Golden Dome, but there was something China was selling to I think Saudi Arabia, and it completely shitted itself. So a lot of our products tested. So if you don't see that, can you explain it
Maybe.
to me today?
Yeah. Here's how I can explain it. We're not going to be an empire anymore if we keep making the product that we want to sell is death across the entire globe. This is not sustainable for a country, and it's not sustainable for a planet. So how about we stop investing in arming other countries that kill indiscriminately all over the planet, and start figuring out how to, I don't know, feed more of the planet, house more of the planet, figure out how to get interplanetary like Elon's been talking about. It seems like this is just not where we should be spending, especially from a Christian perspective, not what we should be arguing for and hoping for and working towards.
Yeah, that's a pipe dream, though. If there's anything you want to talk about Vietnam, you want to talk about the past, war is part of this world. I
It's
mean,
part
But
of
are we
our
just
world.
assume, or do we just assume that it's inevitable that we're going to all blow ourselves up?
I'm not assuming that. But
Well, that's where this goes.
but to say that, oh, that we can just have all interplanetary and no wars, I mean, that's reality.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it certainly has been reality for the uh, known history of mankind. But I mean, at some point, right, we
Okay.
have to evolve to the next level, right?
Okay, well, if that's the case, Greg Hugh, I believe leading by example. You're going to give away your gun? You be the first.
What? Hold on.
You,
How
you
did we
got-
get here? Why would I give away my gun?
well, you want everyone to have
Why
peace.
would I give away the single gun that I own?
All right, well, I'm just saying, you want peace everywhere. You say we shouldn't be arming people. Give
Yeah,
up your
I don't want to
gun.
arm other countries. Why would I want to arm other countries?
Be a good
Greg doesn't
Christian.
go to his neighbor
Give up
and
your
ask him
gun.
to pay him $100 every month, and at gunpoint.
Yeah. Did you happen to catch this press conference that Trump did the other day, where they're talking about these billion-dollar fighter jets that we're about to sell to these other countries? And Trump's like, these are the best technology, $1 billion. But of course, when we give them to these other countries, we make them 10% not as good because who knows? Someday we might be going to war with these countries. And it's like, yes, that's exactly what happens all the time. He said the quiet part out loud. I'm just like, I'm jumping up when I'm watching this. I'm like, is anyone else hearing this? It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
a lot of
that's
people would have asked that question, and I think that obviously there's a lot of people that wouldn't, to the point where that's probably
Yeah,
was an unnecessary thing to say.
yeah.
You guys no filter. But Greg, do you get the Israel Royce Gracie analogy or not?
No, I don't agree with it, and I don't get it, and no, I don't.
Well, I know TJ does. You get it though, right?
Do I? Not really.
Okay. Well,
I
then
thought you were
you
going
both
to
are
go
in
with
denial.
someone,
You both.
whoever, like who brought us over the edge to like setting us on the global stage, being like we're here to dominate. I think that would have been like a World War One veteran or World War One general or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like
like saying, oh, well, because of Rome defeated, Alexander the Great defeated the Persians. They're the strong. It's 2025. What's your technology now? It doesn't matter what we did in World War One. We weren't even the main guy. We came late to World War One. That has nothing to do with us as a power.
we're
No one
supplying
thought,
weapons to both
nobody
sides.
thought World War One America was the strongest country at that point.
And
Germany was
yeah,
the strongest.
exactly. Nobody thought Hoyt Gracie was the strongest when he stepped into
Exactly.
It's
the
true. It's
octagon.
true.
No one thought the Royce. It was shocking. I mean, again, if you don't follow mixed martial arts, it was shocking. And the 7-Day War, when Israel defeated all its countries and stuff with American tech, it proved okay. These guys are the legit. I mean, it's the easiest example I can attribute to. You guys got played. So Israel, even though we spend all the money, it's basically R&D for our system and why we are the strongest. And when we keep talking about all this other stuff, peace through strength, remember.
yeah.
It's easier to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. So that's our approach. And until you understand that and you want to go all over about, oh no, we're killing everybody, this and that. Look, This is the world we live in, and like I said in my monologue, acceptance. Learn acceptance and make your life a lot easier. Like I said, you have two choices in life. You can either be happy or you can be right. I choose to be happy. I don't care so much about being right. Oh, the number has to be exactly right. No, I don't care. I want to be happy. And I want to have an understanding that fits my code, my life, that makes me happy. I can't worry about everything. That's praying to the devil, worrying. I want to have my faith in my Savior, and that ultimately my legacy and things will go good. That's what I hope for. I'm not here to say, "Oh, this is right, wrong." This forum, this arena, is not for me to be right. It's just to identify with you all, with the listeners, and ultimately try to be happy with all the bullshit we deal with on a daily basis, and not to take it, not to buy into it. You guys with me on that?
Yeah.
It just sounds like you read George Orwell's 1984 and you're like, oh, that was a good idea.
No, I've never read George Orwell before, so wrong. I might not.
Let's go spend money to Israel and have these forever wars in the Middle East.
No, even if America does not want to fight these wars, all the other nations, 180 nations plus, someone will be interested in having war, and they will all need weapons. And why not be the number one country selling weapons? Somewhere, somebody will be at war, even though America doesn't want to fight.
Well,
Somebody
but I think what happens too often is like we encourage those wars all over the place, and then we follow up with and also I've got weapons to sell. It's like if I was a home inspector and I'm pointing out like, hey, you've got real roof problems. Also, my buddy has a roofing company.
100%. And that's the devil in the details, unfortunately. The world we live in. I've accepted it.
I don't know. I don't know. I think
Look,
it's going to be. Hey, have you been following this Three Eye Atlas thing? Any of you guys following Three Eye Atlas?
a little bit. I know what it is.
I
It's
haven't.
it's it's a meteor or something, right? That's going to crash. They say might crash into us or something.
Well, they at first they thought it was a comet, and then they're not sure, and now they think it's probably just a rock. But it's very unusual. It's coming from outside of our solar system. It's got some unusual properties. It's giving off some light, that kind of thing. There's not a insignificant amount of people who think that maybe it's alien technology or some sort of alien mothership or something. And I can't help but think if it is some sort of alien mothership, how disappointed it's going to be when it comes down here and sees what humans have done with all the technology and knowledge that these aliens probably bestowed on us back in the thousands of years ago.
Yeah, well said. You guys probably know. Like, I'm not into the space thing really. I think it's fake.
That's
So I
right. That's right.
stuff. But that's another topic I would love to talk about. Now, also, I look at it even more unique. And as I said in my monologue, you need to focus on yourselves. What bothers me even more, instead of that, where my mind goes, is when I see a young kid, 7 years old, overweight, or when I see all the obesity in the world.
For sure.
That to me is much more important than this whole thing about buying into this whole thing about the wars, and is when some people are overweight or have bad health. They don't even the temple that we gave our bodies, that God gave us, we don't even take care of. To me, that's like I give you a Lamborghini and you spray paint on it, you don't clean it, and it's all scratched. You don't even take care of it. The human body is so magnificent if it's treated correctly. So when I love to get into health eventually and stuff, a lot of things that have helped me.
I prefer bodies
So,
without 7-year-olds without bullets in their bodies and shrapnel. So that would make them more healthy.
oh yeah, 100%. But I tend not to get involved in all that stuff as well because of all the dead children. How many of those people with overweight and stuff is much greater scale than I know. Some kids got killed at whatever a couple last week or something. It was horrible. But like I said, the bigger problem is the health, I think, of children. That is in your control, okay? Your weight. Whereas the kids dying and stuff is beyond my control. So trying to be happy, I focus on my weight and things I can control instead of getting all worked over, which is not good for your health to stress about other stuff, about other things you can't control either. So yeah, the AI thing, Atlas, you want to talk about this world and stuff, like usually people who worry about the world and other people's stuff have eternal issues, which I've learned in myself that they need to focus on more. And then once you get that, then other stuff, all right, fine. I'm not saying that it's okay or accept it as something that can't be fixed, but a lot of that is stuff like these climate change activists and stuff. Look at them. A lot of them, they're blue hair or whatever, the million nose rings, they're not necessarily mentally well. I worry about my mental health first before I worry about anyone else's.
What are you doing to help obesity in children?
Well, don't feed them the SNAP shit that they give to pay. Like with RFK, the first thing he did was get these people off sodas and stuff with SNAP benefits and stuff. Yeah, you it 100%. It's all the sugar they're putting in their system. Breakfast isn't. Again, we can go on and on. A lot of the kids, yeah, because they're eating processed garbage food. I mean, Greg Hugh knows. I mean, he's in that Kaylee Means ecosphere. The tobacco companies bought the food companies, and they put a lot of addictive stuff in it.
For
If you
sure.
really, and that to me, these are a million times more important to me than Israel. So I just wanted, because you guys keep bringing up to go into, and then when I start to break it down to show how like superfluous all this bullshit is with the money, you guys, oh no. But yeah, if you want to go down that, I'm all for that. That to me is huge. That's a bigger problem. That's a weapon of mass destruction in this world.
I think I don't disagree. I think that's a big problem, how fat American kids are. But I think it's also a problem when you have U.S. senators saying that they got into the Senate so that they could help Israel. That's literally what Ted Cruz said. I mean, I think that's an issue. We should be concerned about that.
Well, he said something on Tucker talking about, right?
Yes,
Where
exactly.
he said it's biblical. He mentioned in the Bible, right? And then Tucker laughed
Well,
at him.
that was a different point, but yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure Ted Cruz is also helping a lot of other things. Again, when you have that power,
But he said he got into politics. He got into politics so that he could help Israel. That's why he wanted to become a U.S. senator.
That's how it became a U.S. senator.
how I would tell myself
Right.
that is politicians lie. I wouldn't believe everything they say.
Faux show.
But the kids overweight and stuff, and TJ even said one podcast earlier about the testosterone of the kids is bad too. I'm sure that has something to do with this food.
Oh, 100%.
Kids' lunch now, if they have pizza with marinara sauce, that's considered a vegetable now. I'm like, what?
That is pretty bad.
Marinara sauce is. Oh,
Don't
you had
disrespect tomato sauce.
Don't disrespect it.
But if you talk about Ted Cruz, which I really, again, the whole thing of Israel, the thing that the hot button topic for me is, did you hear about Boasberg with the whole thing with the phone records? Greg,
No, what's that?
do you know that, TJ?
No, what? All I heard
Was
was
that the guy that said he wanted to kill people?
No, Arctic Operation Arctic Frost. Do you know about that?
No, what is
I
it?
think what is it?
Operation Arctic Frost is when they set an investigation to spy on all the senators and stuff. The Republican senators is like
Oh,
100.
yeah.
Yeah, there's Jack
I
Smith. He
heard a
was
little bit
literally
about that. Heard a little bit about
tapping these senators and stuff, and a lot of like 160 Republican operatives. It basically stems off that song or something that Kash Patel did about the January 6s. They went into an investigation and they subpoenaed Ted Cruz and all these guys' records. So when they subpoenaed AT&T to get Ted Cruz's records, his cell phone and his mobile records, AT&T said, no, we're not giving it to him. So Judge Boasberg signed an order to AT&T telling them they can't tell Ted Cruz that we tried to get his records because he would ruin the investigation. And they made a court order. This Boasberg made AT&T not comply, because usually if a senator or someone is being investigated, they would have to reach out to them and let them know that someone reached out, inquired about your records.
Oh, so
This,
yeah.
this
So they
judge,
didn't follow procedure.
yeah, exactly. So it turns out that on the order for this spying on Cruz was Boasberg. So now he's really upset, and he was talking about it the other day, and now they're going to try to impeach him or something. But that's huge. If you want to be about the government spying on you and everything.
Yeah, no, it is big.
And Ted Cruz in Texas.
I gotta
Agreed.
go.
Agreed.
So if you want to wrap it up real quick, or if you
Yeah.
guys want to stay on, that's cool.
No, TJ, thanks for being generous with the time. You went over.
Good talking to you guys again.
Yeah. And if Pastor Benny wants to take us out, do you have a minute for a prayer, TJ?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that we can come together. We can discuss hot topics, good topics, so we can know more, so we can be made aware of the things that are happening. Lord, I pray for the families of my friends here and those who are listening, so they will have a great weekend. But thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for all the freedom that we have, that we enjoy in the United States. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, sir.
Amen.
And we are the four discoursemen. TJ, Greg Hugh, Pastor Benny, and me. Artie, the one-man party. Thanks for your time, energy, and of course, attention.
All right.